Sorry.
We got some special guests this morning. Morning. We're going to talk about an issue that is very dear to our heart here at Hometown, because one of our favorite people has been battling with this situation for a long time. This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We want you people to pay attention to what's going on here. The interesting thing about this is, we've talked about this at different times in Hometown, about the importance about women going and have their examination once a year, like they're supposed to. But it's very important for us men to go once a year and get our prostate examined. That's the second major killer of men, is prostate cancer. So breast cancer is a terrible disease for women, but prostate cancer is a terrible disease for men. So come on, once a year go. It's not pleasant. Breast examination is not pleasant, but they do it. So we love our wives. Let's do it, okay? With that, anybody got anything they want to talk quickly about? Where are you? Go.
Me?
No, him.
Okay. For those of you that don't know me, for 21 years I've been a community advocate and organizer, and I've been mapping out the community's resources, the organizations, the programs, and the people, so that when people with special needs come to me, that I can help become a guide and navigate through the structure and the system to help them meet those special needs. I've just created a nexus for those that want to help and those that need help. It's called the Help Institute. It's a doorway to help. It's online. There's a lot of leaders in here, movers and shakers. So after the Hometown Helena meeting, I'll be available. So if anybody wants to talk about where I'm going to be creating a line of attack, a plan of attack for issues like homelessness, and for first line of defense for injuries and illness, I'll be available after the meeting to. I need help in doing this because I can't do it on my own. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions? Second thing, get your money out, guys. This is Food Share Week. We raised $600 last week. Last month we Everybody knows my feelings towards this. This goes to a tremendously good cause. So please help us out as much as you can. We'll give it to Food Share this morning. And you have something you want to say?
I do. First of all, thank you. As always, you are tremendous to understand the growing need for food security improvement in our community. And my resources have just doubled, tripled, or something like that with the addition of a new staff member that I'd like you to meet. Carrie Ritter-Gilman, most recently of Anderson Zermula Marketing and PR, has joined my staff as a fundraising officer, so you won't have to hear just from me all the bloody time. So you'll start to see her appearing in public to assist us in the cause of having enough support to operate our programs. So have mercy on her. She has to live in an office with me. A couple of facts. We have successfully opened the East Helena Pantry. It is a pantry for the entire East Helena community. We have had volunteers come from many different avenues. It is housed in the East Helena United Methodist Church, located at the corner of Prickly Pear in Maine. Combining that and our off-site pantries, Michelle Hill, my program manager, has now served 129 households off-site. So that is helping us keep our crowding issues in the main warehouse down to a manageable size. We are 18% busier than we were this time last year. So again, I will echo Jim's comments. Thank you very much for your wonderful support. You are a leader in consistent support. Thank you again.
Thank you, man. Very Anybody else got anything you want to say? Bob, you got something?
Yeah, would you find out for us if Ron Alice has a job and where he's working right now?
He's not here.
He's not doing anything for the county really well. He hasn't started the city, so he's not doing that.
He's in heaven.
I appreciate all your support.
Anybody else got anything they want to talk about? Anyway, we talked this week, and I want to applaud our three candidates for city commission, Bibi and Marshall and Dan. Dan, do you have something? Dan? Who else? Dan. I appreciate you guys for putting your name on the line and going out there and trying to get this job. It's a tough job. You're going to get good pros and cons. You're going to get advice from both sides. But anybody that goes into this arena takes a lot of nerves. So we want to applaud you for your deal and what you had last night. Thank you very much. With that, Peggy Stebbins, we got a special guest this morning. I'll let you do the introductions, and then we'll go into Matt Ellsworth here. We're going to talk about recycling and stuff like that. But Peggy, go.
This is Carrie Fairbrother. She's a clinical nurse educator at St. Peter's, and she's going to speak to you this morning about the flu since it's so prevalent in the community, show a video, and then also breast cancer awareness. In addition to being a registered nurse, she's a certified diabetes educator and a dermatology nurse. She also teaches childbirth education and follows up with our wellness clients. So Carrie.
Thank you. So I did actually bring in breast models. So we're going to start actually with flu. They don't go together, you're right, but we're starting with flu because of the prevalency in our community and lots of questions coming in. And then I did put breast models in the hallway. So we'll just talk basically very quickly because I know you have other things to do. This is great though, because what they're saying about either flu, the normal seasonal flu or the H1N1, is the same thing. Wash your hands, don't cough or sneeze outright. Make sure you get plenty of rest. If you're sick, stay home. Stay home longer than when you're sick. Stay home till at least 24 hours after you feel well without the use of medication. So if you have a temperature and you take Tylenol and your temperature now is less than 100, you can't go back until you're that way without using the Tylenol. So that was one thing I thought about. People in my community, as healthcare providers, we want to be done like that. We want to take that pill and be back the next day. Most of the H1N1 has not been too severe in our age group. There are a few people in this room that were born, a handful of people, maybe more, before 1957. But the rest of the people, if you were born before 1957, yay! Because we came in contact with this before, so we'll have less risk. If you have any associated problems, you've got to be careful. So if you have asthma, diabetes, etc., you've got nausea and vomiting and you're not feeling better within a few hours, if your urine's turning dark, if you have any trouble breathing, you're supposed to be talking. Those are pretty common sense. You're calling either your physician or getting to an emergency room. But last night I had the horrific experience of hearing about a colleague's son's friend in Massachusetts who went off to the University of Miami in Ohio. The head kid in the whole school. He played Beast in Beauty and the Beast. He was a wrestler. He was perfectly healthy. He got the flu, and within 2 weeks, he was dead. He had liver failure. They think it was due to Reye's type of syndrome where he took aspirin. So I'm saying, because most of us have young children or younger children in our domicile, we don't just say, oh, it's a light flu, because there have been some cases, and that community is reeling. As I said, I just heard about this last night. So although we're saying it's probably light, if you have any other problems, you're talking to your doctor, there are some antivirals that are working. Because I want to let this gentleman or lady, somebody, get out of here, I will wait for questions and any more comments till you see this, and I think it'll be quite entertaining.
The opportunity to adjust the volume on your television set. Millions of disease-causing germs are launched into the atmosphere every time someone coughs or sneezes. It is customary to cough and sneeze into one's hands, supposedly to prevent the spread of germs. But germs get onto the cougher's hands and are spread to telephones and doorknobs, and from there they are spread to other people's hands and mouths, and who knows where else. The best place to cough is into fabric, such as one's sleeve, where germs are trapped while they desiccate and die. But people in polite society do not cough into their sleeves. Such behavior is frowned upon. The purpose of this video is to make coughing into one's sleeve fashionable and even patriotic. It's the right thing, the polite thing to do. You will now see 4 excellent, slightly different coughing techniques, executed first into the right sleeve and then into the left. The technique will vary depending on your dimensions, the flexibility of your joints, whether you are wearing long or short sleeves, and your ability to cough at an angle. Notice the slight change of position during a sneeze, with the nose a little lower. You will now see a series of coughs and sneezes performed by random subjects. Their coughs will be judged by our panel of 3 infectious disease experts, Dr. Graham Stain, Dr. Blood Hagar, and Dr. Polymorph. First, the coughs.
That would be a 4. The left hand was needlessly contaminated.
10. Perfect. Hand on opposite shoulder. That's a win.
4.7.
4.
Yellow's a bad part deal, but long arms. 8.
7.6.
Practical.
Almost as good as the black suit guy.
Pathetic. 0.
Jeez.
Now, the sneezers.
2. He contaminated his hands.
Why bother with the Kleenex? That's a 1.
It's more dangerous than our left.
5. His hand got hit.
Impractical.
9. Wow.
9. Great.
Nearly
Messed up
perfect.
their hair.
Who doesn't wait the time of day?
A perfect 10.
9.10.
What more can I say?
Awesome. She's the one to imitate.
We must train ourselves to cough into the nearest appropriate fabric, which is usually a sleeve. Most healthcare garments lend themselves well to this technique. Unfortunately, to avoid messes, we should formulate coughing strategies for the clothes and accessories we are wearing each day.
Save my shirt if I did that first time.
Paper tissues are good cough receptacles when they are placed over the mouth properly, but using them usually results in hand contamination. They should not be reused. Handkerchiefs suffer from the same hand contamination and reuse problems, and they have the additional disadvantage of poor accessibility. A perfect answer would be an armband that could be changed after each use. So, in keeping with the recommendations of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, why don't we just do it in our sleeves? It's the right thing. It's the polite thing to do. And remember, if you make a mistake and cough or sneeze into your hands, please wash them immediately.
Thought you would enjoy that. We all did over at St. Pete's.